especially crash prevention, which is what you want in the car. When it comes to the markets, that's really out of our hands. But here on the show, a common theme we talk about is controlling what you can control. So if you want to start putting together a plan that can control those variables, 419-794-3030 is the number. But here's a question for the listeners out there. What are you most concerned about in retirement? There's a new survey by Schroders of new retirees that found a third of them were terrified to give up their paycheck going into retirement, and 55% of them didn't believe they'd be able to replace even 75% of their current paycheck. So valid concerns, I think. How is the Retirement Guys formula in America's Medicare Associates? How are you helping clients with concerns like this?
Yeah, they are. Those are big concerns. They go to work all those years and you're so used to a comfortable paycheck, and then all of a sudden you move into retirement time and things change. And looking at the numbers, you even have 45% of people between the ages of 55 and 64 fear having high medical bills. And, 39% of those, even over age 65, eligible for Medicare, have the same fear. So I know, Scott, you've been just busy back to back in the, busy time of the year for Medicare and the different plans. And is that the fear that you see? And how do you address that when you're talking with different people?
Oh, there's no question, Nolan. That is a tremendous fear. I run into this a lot where, some of the people that I wrote some nice plans for last year have come in and for their annual review, and I ask them, so how's the plan working? And I'm shocked to hear that over the last 2 weeks, I've had 4 clients come in that have had actually significant health issues. And these people said, it just hit me out of the blue. I got an email this past weekend from a client that actually discovered that they had cancer, right? Mm-hmm. And the one good thing is they were very, very pleased with the plan that I put them with, because it kind of minimized their out-of-pocket expenses for the treatments they had. And he said, because of the plan you put me with, I'm able to retire. But had I not had the right plan, I don't know what kind of out-of-pocket expenses I would have been looking at. I really feel that is a big fear. Like you said, 33% are terrified to give up their paychecks, and what worse way to get rid of or blow up a portfolio is to have those high out-of-pocket unexpected medical bills. So that is a fear, and I run into it every day.
Yeah, what I would say too is I see people that retire before the age 65, and they think, well, I'll just go ahead, and I've been in good health. I haven't had any issues. I can probably just coast along with no coverage until 65, until I get Medicare eligible. And, to me, that's extremely dangerous. Don't go without insurance coverage. And then all the way down to the end, when you're thinking about, how do you protect a family from being wiped out if you or a loved one have some type of long-term medical care, and the devastating impact that it can have on a family when they need, nursing home or some type of care. I ran into some folks earlier today that were talking about a friend of theirs, and their spouse has dementia, and, what the cost is associated with that, and how quickly that can get things to go down. It all does kind of tie back, and even some of this stuff ties back into the fact of, again, that number one fear is not having enough money in retirement time and, outliving their income. One of the suggestions that I would have for folks that are listening is, number one, create a written retirement income plan and look for strategies to generate retirement income. So right now, the stats show about 49% of people don't have any strategies to generate retirement income, and instead they just opt to kind of pick away at their retirement nest egg.
Sure.
And, picking away at your retirement nest egg is not a written retirement income plan. And I don't want to confuse people in the fact that some people have had a financial plan done, or, some people maybe when they log into their 401k, it has a gauge that shows whether their investments are on track or not. What I'm talking about is a written retirement income plan. So what are the various sources of income that you have, reliable and variable? So things like Social Security, pension, maybe annuity income. How much do you get from dividends and interest? How much income is your lazy assets generating? When you look at those, then the next thing is to figure out, how do you get each of those categories to increase and provide the most retirement income that you can. Things like taking Social Security early can reduce the amount of lifetime income that you have. Not looking at your dividends and interest that you get on your portfolio could make you miss out on 20 or 30% more dividend and interest income. The stock market is an area that we really can't control. The markets go up and down, but you can control through investment selection process the amount of income that you get from things like dividend and interest. Doing an annuity review. A lot of folks that are listening, they may have an old annuity. Well, as you're aware, if you've been listening to the show, annuity rates have really dramatically increased in 2022 with interest going up. So by doing an annuity review, you may be able to get higher interest. If you have riders on the account that provide some form of income, as you get older, you have less of life expectancy, and so that income could be higher too. Those are the things that you want to do is in creating that written retirement income plan to make sure that you feel comfortable that you have enough money to cover your, paychecks that you need in retirement time.
Sure. So, there is a big difference in, like you said, Nolan, there's a big difference in having a financial advisor and putting together a portfolio for you and having a true written retirement income plan. That kind of keeps you on track for how you want to navigate through retirement, is having that written plan put in place.
Yeah, it's great to look at your investments, and I think that's something that people should do. But there's different phases of life. You have the saving and accumulation phase, and that's the phase when people are putting money into their retirement plans, they're building their 401k. And the investment process may be different. In fact, I believe it oftentimes is different than when you transition into retirement time, because now you're not continuing to put money into the plan, you're pulling money out of the plans. So you have to make sure that every single dollar, if you're not getting up and going to work every day, every single dollar you have gets up and go to work every day. And the philosophy on how we put that together is what we call the independent income system. That's the process to kind of help create that written retirement income plan.
If you do a quick search online, if you go to Google and you type in independent income system, the video comes right up. It's the first thing there. If you go to Americasretirementheadquarters.com, you can find it there as well. But it is very truly, and we're not here, or I'm assuming we're not here to badmouth other financial advisors, especially the ones, while you're in the working world, they are there to help that nest egg grow. But when you round that corner, you get ready to approach retirement, it is about having that money turn into your income plan, into your retirement plan. And that is where the team at the Retirement Guys formula really comes into play, making that money now work for you. So if you want to get started, if you have these concerns, and obviously, there's a lot of people out there giving up the fear of giving your paycheck, the concern that you may not be able to replace, just even a portion of your paycheck, start generating a plan, take some of that emotional guesswork and uncertainty out of it by picking up the phone and giving a call. 419-794-3030 is the phone number. Once again, 419-794-3030, or you can also go online, schedule a time there, Americasretirementheadquarters.com.